This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
And we welcome you to the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV along with Brian Balfe, Eric Scherer, Hollywood Q. I'm Jason Klaus. Certainly appreciate you doing This is how we're going to do today, huh?
Oh, yeah, we're
It
on.
is Friday the 13th, and we are on the road to Wrestlemania, and that is where we're going to start here tonight. And for the first time in a while, you can join the conversation live by calling in to the phone lines 810-277-3743. Gentlemen, a lot to talk about this week, a lot to unpack. Let's start right at the top here with Cody Rhodes regaining the WWE Championship over Drew McIntyre, and has since it's going to change the main event for one of the nights of WrestleMania. We were anticipating that it was going to be McIntyre and Orton, who won the Elimination Chamber match to earn the right to challenge for the WWE Championship. I'm totally cool with that. What I'm not cool with, Hollywood, is we have Cody Rhodes now going into Mania as the champion, winning his third title, and this has set the internet on fire. Would you agree?
The internet is definitely on fire. I mean, dang. Well, Cody is a three-time world champion now in this company, and he's been back for 4 years. So I think what we're seeing is definitely a Cody Rhodes fatigue. I was really pushing for them to let Drew at least roll into WrestleMania with the belt. But, man, as soon as they announced that match after Elimination Chamber, I said, well, the writing is on the wall for that guy. I know he's going to be going away to film Highlander right after Mania, but, man, he could have lost it there. We even mentioned on this show 2 weeks ago that maybe they can do a triple threat or fatal four-way multi-man type match for the title, because there's a lot of people in the title picture like Jacob Fatu. They didn't go that route. So, I mean, last year we seen Drew McIntyre face Damian Priest in a nothing match. Do we see Drew McIntyre in another nothing match? I mean, because they kind of cooled off Jacob to me.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
with
kind
the quickness,
of. I don't know, it's because he lost all of his teeth, or what, but something changed. To it's like he just kind of fell off of the popularity train. So, man, what's up with Drew? Like, and you see what the YouTube video pretty much got, what, 200,000 dislikes or something like that, something crazy. I mean, we're getting into those Jey Uso numbers.
It actually surpassed Jey Uso in a couple of realms. But, Eric, you look at Cody Rhodes, and this is a guy that WWE has spent a tremendous amount of time and effort and money to put out there as the face of the company. However, we're starting to see the pushback from a growing contingent of the fan base. Putting him back into the main event as the champion, in your opinion, and I ask you this because you're looking at it from fresher eyes than we are. On paper, does Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, is that a more attractive match than Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton?
I don't know.
Where does he find more attractive?
Well, where does Orton sit? Is he a face or is he a heel?
I think at this point he's just
He's
the
just him.
universal baby face. Like, he has been there so long. I mean, unless he does something really, really bad, like, people are going to flock to Randy Orton, especially now that they're really hyping on this. He's going after his 15th world title. Like, they're really pushing that narrative right now.
Right.
So I feel like, especially when I look back at what he did last year, he was supposed to wrestle Owens and then was not able to. Joe Hendry had stepped up, but people were they were still clamoring for the RKO. Like, he's still very much one of the pillars of WWE. So I would say, by default, he's kind of the face here.
So do we got face versus face, or is it finally Highlander Cody time?
That is going to lead me to my next thing, Brian, and I'll shift this over to you. Is the only way to save this match as being a main event for WrestleMania to turn Rhodes heel? Is now the time to pull the trigger on that?
Do we get it pre-WrestleMania, or do you think we get it during WrestleMania?
I would say you would almost have to do it pre-WrestleMania, like starting
You'd
this
have,
week.
like I'm saying, you'd have to do it beforehand to build interest for the match, which I already feel like it's going to be the night 2 main event, and that's, I'm like, ugh.
Right.
There's nothing worse than not looking forward to night 2 main event, and that's where I feel like I'm at right now, and that's so disappointing. We're 5 weeks out from WrestleMania, and I'm like,
I think it should be night 1.
I agree.
Yeah.
but do you think they'll do that? They won't have to do that
Because
with Cody.
Roman is
Roman
their
and
child.
Punk.
That's their baby.
Right.
Roman is like the oldest child in the room right now. They take care of Roman.
I hope so, but
There's that aspect of it, and then you look at CM Punk, who is the world champion going into Mania. Okay, he was in the main event last year at WrestleMania in a triple threat match, but it was night 1. When I look back at WrestleMania 41, the main event is Cena Rhodes. Because that was the match that closed the whole show out. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if I'm booking this, I'm putting Punk and Roman
Yeah, me too.
on Sunday night and
Heck
give Punk his actual main event spot that he has earned. You know what I'm saying here?
I would say with Drew, I think we're going to see Drew and Jacob, obviously, at WrestleMania. I feel like we all pretty much agree on that. Make it a number 1 contenders match. Give it something.
Right.
And then obviously, like we know, Drew's stepping away to film. So then you get Jacob as the number 1 contender. He built some heat behind him.
Yeah, and that's something that they're really going to have to do going out of WrestleMania. They're going to have somebody waiting in the wings for whoever emerges from the main event with the WWE Championship. Jacob Fatu, like we have sat here and sung this guy's praises for a long time, even before he came to WWE. When he was killing it in MLW, like that's when he came across my radar. I'm like, if he gets called up to the WWE, this guy's going to be somebody. He's special. He has it. You know what I mean? But where WWE has failed in the last few years is they could have a stellar WrestleMania, but they have nothing to build the momentum off of going out of it. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing waiting in the wings. You put a new talent in there like Jacob, that is going to immediately keep that momentum rolling. And it doesn't matter if it's Orton or Rhodes at this point. But we're going to be breaking down all things WrestleMania in our very special annual WrestleMania preview edition of the show on Friday, April the 10th. The way the calendar winds up in our schedule, we will be doing it the week before WrestleMania. So, but if there's breaking news between now and then, we could go live and impromptu over on Riverside.fm. You can stay tuned to pfcnetwork.net for all the latest information and programming notes. Let's move over to the 3 count this week. 3 sources of information that came across our radar. Let's start things off here. Brian, Road Dogg leaving WWE's creative team, and as we have sat here we just got done talking about all these what ifs and the scenarios and this, that, and the other thing. A lot of it stems from the creative aspect of this. And it coincides with this news that the Road Dogg is now out of the creative team. First, we heard that he may have been fired, but now we are learning that he actually left the position. How big of his leaving do you think is playing a factor right now in all of these scenarios that we just talked about that's happening on SmackDown, specifically around the WWE Championship?
I don't know. I think if I was WWE or even TKO, I would look at the scrambling and how like chaotic this WrestleMania is, and I think that falls a lot on creative. And like, it seems like creative is almost untouchable. Like they need to be like hey, you can get fired too. We're not just getting rid of talent when they don't show up. If you guys can't figure something out, and if you watch the Unreal documentary series, they look like they don't know what they're doing half the time. It's like they're planning weekly when they should be looking at a macro level. Like they need, like we just said about after WrestleMania plans. It's just like rolling the dice. What do we got this week? It's like you got to have some setup. Without setup, without stories, you lose interest.
You are nailing it. And as soon as you said that, what I started thinking about, and I thought about this watching Unreal. Number one, about that show, I have mixed feelings about it, if I can be honest with you. In some aspects, I'm like, the business has evolved to a point, and especially with the advent of the internet, and everybody has to know everything. Like, it is a market to provide some content out there, entertaining content. But at the same time, it's like, man, I don't want to go to a magic show and know how the magician is pulling the rabbit out of the hat. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you were going to say something.
No,
I was waiting for it.
I was actually thinking that was a really good analogy.
Thank you. But at the same time, when I watch that show, you know damn well that is not exactly what's going on. Like, this stuff is so, they say it's unscripted. It is not. It is very much scripted. But what I took away, especially with Road Dogg watching that season, was they have really positioned this guy as kind of an imbecile, in some regard.
I don't think that they're that far off on that, though.
Over emotional and all this other stuff. And it's like, man, at the same time, it's like, how much credit does he get for when SmackDown was good? You know what I mean? It's hard to say, but this is a statement that one of Triple H's boys, nobody is safe. You know what I mean? Like, if they're going to watch you out, they're going to find a way to get you out. And it doesn't matter if you're one of Hunter's best friends or not. And I wonder how much of this was influenced by TKO. What do you think, Eric? Do you think TKO had a say in this, or is this just it is what it is, and Road Dogg has had enough?
I mean, like you said, Unreal seems a little scripted, right? It doesn't seem, and like Brian said, it seems like everyone's just scrambling every week. Gosh, I don't know what he didn't seem happy, right? On the show, at least.
Right.
He's getting frustrated and he's emotional.
And that was the thing that we heard, is he was having a diminished role backstage. You know what I mean? And it's hard to take. I take everything at face value when I read it, unless it comes from a reputable source, right?
Yeah.
So now the question is, Q, does he wind up making the inevitable jump to AEW to reunite with Billy Gunn? Because that is what a lot of people are speculating at this point.
What to do? What? Oh, you didn't know?
Well, listen,
he's not good in the ring anymore.
No, but from me. We have said Tony Khan needs a wrestling guy to run the wrestling product. Is Road Dogg capable? Does he have the mindset to go into a role like that and actually change things around for AEW?
I don't think so. My thoughts on Road Dogg. I've been kind of critical on Road Dogg for a long time after watching SmackDown 2018 and 17 and 16 when he was in charge and he was the lead guy on SmackDown at the time, and SmackDown was god awful. And like going all the way up to the pandemic, it's like, man, dude, it's not just him though. And I was talking to Brian about this. Like, that whole creative team needs an overhaul. Like, it's a lot of these guys were Vince guys, pretty much, and Vince was the one, spewing out all these crazy things and accepting all this crazy stuff. And now it's like Triple H is being overrun by his creative team, and he's like, okay, well, whatever you say, we'll do it, we'll do that. Now, Triple H had his own mind when he was in NXT, but now Triple H role has expanded, so he can't just, say this. He's got all these other guys in place, like Michael P.S. Hayes and some of the other goons over there, running things and putting all these crazy bad ideas. Look at WrestleMania. Like, we don't even know what it is. Like, we can't even tell what's the theme.
It keeps changing. They've changed it now.
Where's the Weeknd and his music? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't feel like we are in WrestleMania season, and I can't put all of that on the talent. Like, Cody Rhodes don't write for himself, but he won that title. Well, he might, I'm quite sure there's politicking, but somebody has to sign off on that.
Right.
So, you could have easily came up with some more compelling ideas before we even got to this point. And Road Dogg is just one of those guys. And he go to AEW, I don't know. I don't know how accepted he'll be. Maybe he will be. I'm quite sure he got friends over there. He's got Billy Kip Gunn over there. So, maybe it can work out. That's like a wait and see for me. But I don't know. Maybe he just needs to sit down. So people need to start retiring.
Yeah, take a break. He's been doing this for quite a while. Brian, do you think he would make any kind of positive impact if he was to go to AEW or TNA? TNA has been talked about too.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm glad we had this talk.
I don't know, because I don't really know who they have on their staff there. I mean, maybe he could bring something to the table. I don't think maybe 100% creative is his specialty, but maybe there's some minor aspects to it that he actually would benefit them with. Like being an in-ring talent, knowing stuff like that, maybe you could set matches up a little bit better, just throw out ideas. But for an overall storyline, no. Not based on his past performance, no. The question I would ask you just to even think about, do they ever pull Shawn Michaels up to a main roster to run one of them?
I don't even want to see that now.
I mean, based on what we've seen with Triple H, it's like, oh my God, I hope not, because Shawn's doing so well at NXT, but maybe because Triple H is spread out wide. Yeah. If you put Shawn directly over one show or the other, do you see a positive impact there?
I don't know.
But that's also a reduced roster, so it's easier to manage.
Right. Yeah. I feel like NXT is still very much an important part of Hunter's legacy. And he's not going to put just anybody in that spot. And I feel like that's why Shawn Michaels is there.
If you would put somebody there, though, I mean, you got Regal back now. I think Regal could run NXT.
Regal could, yes.
And
I would like to see him in a general manager role.
They need to, man. That is a missed opportunity. Any kind of on-camera role. That dude is just so perfect at what he does. Yeah, they need to utilize him more.
I want to comment on Shawn Michaels real quick. There was a conference call that he did. I think it was like 2 years ago, and he talked about how he rehashes storylines from the past, and he uses them in NXT. And a lot of the people that watch NXT don't remember those storylines
for sure
from the past, so it's fresh, And I'm like, man, after listening to that, I'm like, why can't people on the main roster, sometime go in the past and see what worked and, try some things again?
That's going to lead me into one of my rants at the end of the show.
I should have saved it then.
No, you didn't know. You didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
Because I don't really know what I'm going to say until the red light goes on. But be that as it may, so we're going to, obviously keep an eye on and see what happens, where Road Dogg pops up, if anywhere. But like you said, maybe it is time to just calm down, go home, be a husband, be a dad, just chill out for a little bit. You've earned that right.
Yeah. Be AJ Styles.
Be AJ Styles. Be a little bit more like AJ Styles. All right. The other part, the other news that came down the wire this week, something that we have been paying close attention to, is what is going to happen with Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, a few weeks ago, we reported that there were a number of different platforms that were vying to buy the rights to WBD. Netflix was the front runner, but they could not come to terms. But now it looks like Paramount Plus has indeed agreed to purchase the the WBD streaming platform and everything that goes with that. Now, why do we mention this? Because very deep underneath that umbrella lies one All Elite Wrestling. Because All Elite Wrestling and where they are broadcast right now on the Turner Networks are part of the WBD umbrella. So with Paramount Plus having a secondary business relationship with TKO, because if you're paying attention, if you're following along, you know that UFC has a new deal with Paramount. UFC is under the TKO umbrella. Eric, how do you think this is going to affect the future of AEW once their current TV deal with Turner expires? Because the way this is set up, Paramount has the right to pull the plug on all of it. The Turner Networks, everything. I don't think they will, but when you start looking at the real estate of time slots, AEW occupies a pretty prime spot. And if they fall into the same scenario as WCW did back in the day, where this merger was happening and the people that were taking over didn't want wrestling, this could very well be another thing for AEW. What do you think about this?
Whew. I'm the fresh eyes guy. I'm the Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. Getting this deep in the politics is over my head. I will say, I don't know. It will bring more eyes to the product, right?
They're going to have to do something here because, like I said, like they're kind of. I look at this like they are on very thin ice right now, and they have got to get these ratings up. Brian, if AEW gets pulled from any part of this merger and their accessibility to their audience is reduced, I mean, what's the likelihood that they're going to pop up on another reputable network or streaming platform? Because, WWE and TKO have their hands in ESPN and Paramount and Netflix and Peacock. And like, where do they go?
I mean, currently they also are on HBO Max. And I think that's where a lot of people are watching them. I'm curious to see what the numbers they do get for streaming for their show there. But also, I think this leaks into the very next part of the 3 count with the streaming option.
Yeah.
Because
That's why I set it up like that.
maybe it is like, hey, if they decide Paramount Plus is like, we're not carrying those, or WBD, like they decide like that we're done with that thing, they have now the streaming thing, which I think is going to be a big thing, because I already know multiple people that said that they're going to get it. 3 at least. So,
Right.
I mean, that's
Is it us?
you, me, my buddy Pete just texted me, said he was looking for the link on it. I'm like, I think it might be a smart move for them. I think they're kind of going back to what the WWE had with theirs,
Right.
which I think really pushed their product to the point where it was.
Well, like revolutionized a big part of the entire industry with the launch of the WWE Network. They were able to dictate their narrative. Number one, they got away from the traditional pay-per-view model. That's something AEW has not been able to do yet. So now that all of this is in play, now I should make mention that there is a chance that the merger between Paramount Plus or its acquisition of WBD could be put on pause if the government becomes involved. And there are politicians, specifically in the state of California, who have said that they are going to block this merger. So you don't want to make too big of a conglomerate, but geez, oh Pete's, man, you look at what NBC Universal has become, and Disney and ABC, and like there's what's one more major, block of content, of entertainment. So there is a possibility, I suppose, that this will be contested, this merger or this acquisition. So we'll have to wait and see how that unfolds. But leading into the third part of our 3-count segment this week was the announcement of some sort of new streaming app for All Elite Wrestling. And as Brian alluded to, this could be a game changer for this promotion, especially when we have sat here and discussed how shaky ground that they're on with their TV rights deal. Now, they rolled this information out. The problem is, upon discovery, the app is not actually available as of yet. So we don't really understand how this whole thing is going to shape up, where the availability is going to be. But on paper, they have it set up where there's 3 different pay tiers, and obviously the more you pay, the more content that you get for AEW, including their entire TV catalog, their pay-per-view catalog. That also includes Ring of Honor. Q, this could be a game changer, if for nothing else, for the hardcore, diehard AEW fans, because we know tribalism in pro wrestling is a real thing. Don't understand it, but it is what it is. Yep. But on paper, man, if they can launch this and it's a success, this is going to be a good thing for AEW. Would you agree?
Oh, heck yeah. See, I know a lot of people that actually miss the WWE Network.
100.
Right? And I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree that we miss that format. And if I was AEW, I would definitely, just go straight into the what is it? My AEW. Just launch the app, get the app together, and launch that, and try to do things that we miss from WWE. Like if I was them, I would book something for next year around WrestleMania time in the States while WWE is in Saudi Arabia. Do everything that people miss from WWE. That would be the smart thing that Tony Khan should lean on. And launching this app is just the first step. That's the first step.
Yeah, I was on board with you until you said, well, Tony Khan, blah, 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 because we... Listen.
Or maybe Road Dogg, I don't know.
Well, somebody, get somebody in there that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Not Road Dogg.
Tony Khan can fund the project all he wants, or have his daddy fund the project all he wants. That's fine. But if you really want to make AEW viable long term, take it seriously, because aside from their block of tribalism fans, AEW product is not very well received. Primarily, aside from a couple of highlights here or there, but as a whole, man, there's just so much work that could be done here to provide an alternative to World Wrestling Entertainment. That's why they need to get wrestling people in here who can actually steer the ship. Tony can buy the ship, just have another captain steer it. That isn't going to run them straight into an iceberg. So I'm all about the analogies tonight, aren't I? All right, let's move on to a hypothetical question that I'm going to propose to my esteemed colleagues here. And if you have an opinion, you're more than welcome to join the show live. You can call in at 810-277-3743. Phone lines are open. Brian Balfe,
That's me.
The ball for David.
who would you say is the MVP of All Elite Wrestling? Do they have one?
MJF definitely is 100% their flagship MVP. But I also think they have guys on the way up like a Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay that are there that if MJF was to leave to go to another company, I think they could easily elevate those guys to that spot. Female-wise, I think Toni Storm, because I won't say Mercedes Moné. I'm like, name value, she's there, but because I don't care one bit if she even wrestled ever again.
Tell me how you really feel.
But even but Willow Nightingale, like Chris Statlander, like there's definitely talent there. I feel like when you look at that picture, it's like, man, they're getting a lot of the older guys, kind of like a WWE though.
Yeah, that's going to tie into my part of this commentary here, but I think MJF is pretty universal right now, and I think that would be a thing even if he wasn't the reigning AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Eric, when you look at this graphic or guys that you have seen as you are starting to pay attention to AEW, is there one guy that stands out and is like, that's the guy that AEW really needs to put the jersey on?
Yeah, it's the two right up front. It's Toni Storm and MJF. It's the ones that have broken out of the weekly programming, and I find them on TikTok or Facebook Reels or. Yeah, those are the top two when I think of the product, and I also think of it as. Who said the old people thing? Was that Brian just now?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the WCW, right? All the old Hulk Hogan go over there, Randy Savage, all the old people just go over to AEW, like Edge and
I mean,
Daniel
75%
Bryan.
of those people are former WWE people.
Yeah.
6 of the 8.
Right.
True.
100%.
True.
What do you think, Q?
Well, in the sake of saying something different, I'm gonna say Adam Page is pretty up there. He's been like the guy that they really been.
You said Adam Page, and I thought of Adam Cole. I'm like, what are you talking about? But yeah, go ahead.
Hey,
I'm like,
Baby. Oh, so sad about him. But anyway.
for real,
Oh
man.
my God, dude. Yeah, but I'm gonna say Adam
Hangman.
Page, Adam Hangman Page. Definitely, they put a lot of stock into him, especially ever since he had that storyline with Kenny Omega a few years back. They pretty much put the rocket behind him. I definitely agree with the Willow Nightingale. She's been on the come up, but man, Toni Storm is my girl, man. I feel like I know her, man. Like we're cool. We hang out. And she's so
She's fun.
She has so much entertainment. Like she is very entertaining. That she never got a chance to really blossom in WWE. You know, they had that one crying storyline with Charlotte, and then that was it. You know, it was just, dude, that was such a missed opportunity. But she is thriving in AEW, and I'm so happy for her. So,
Who was that one guy that Meltzer always gives 8 stars, 9 stars? What?
Okada
And then
and Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega.
there you go. That's the other ones.
And Ospreay.
Will Ospreay, yeah, for sure. When I look at the roster and I think of AEW, obviously MJF is going to be the first one that comes to mind, and Toni Storm. The thing about Toni Storm is, she came over from WWE, but more people they forget about that because of the work that she's done in AEW, and that's what makes her an MVP. Hangman Page in terms of being homegrown talent. But then I think of, as much as I hate to say it, I think of Jon Moxley and Mercedes Moné only because of their name recognition and their facial recognition that they got in WWE as Sasha Banks and Dean Ambrose. So,
I got one more name to throw out there.
yeah,
Swerve Strickland.
yeah,
Okay.
Swerve Strickland.
that dude really needs
Yeah.
to be put on the next level up.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to run a quick timeout. We got more news and notes in and around the world of professional wrestling, so stick around. More of the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV is right after these messages.
The Lake Orion Lions Club invites you to join them for a night at the races on Saturday, April 25th at Boulder Point Golf Club in Oxford. Admission includes a taco bar and beer and wine, and you get to take part in the lion races. Large fuzzy dice will move wooden lions decorated by local businesses and organizations down the racetrack, and you can bet on the outcome. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. with the races starting at 7 p.m. Visit LakeOrionLions.org for ticket information.
Ready, set, go!
Runners and walkers of all ages and skill levels are invited to come out to the 30th running of Orion Township's Dragon Dash 5K on Sunday, May 17th at 9 a.m. The start-finish line will be near Civic Center Park, and participants will head north on the scenic Pollyant Trail before turning around and heading back to the finish line. All participants will receive an award at the finish line, and all proceeds benefit Orion Area Youth Assistance. Race day registration and check-in will be held at the Wildwood Amphitheater. For more information, you can call 248-391-0304, extension 3500, or visit OrionParks.com.
And we welcome you back to the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV. We certainly appreciate you taking part of your weekend to join us. And if you want to join the conversation, you can call into the show live right now, 810-277-3743. As we come out of the break here, one thing that I wanted to make mention and bring some spotlight on is the fact that, you know, we kind of know what we're talking about here on the Fatal 4-Way. It's not like we're looking to take up your time and with a bunch of nonsense and misinformation. If you wanted that, well, you can pay attention to Dave Meltzer. But be that as it may, we did get the news. We are seeing news now that the ticket prices for WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas are taking, they're going down. They are reducing the prices to the biggest show of the year. We said that this was going to have to be a thing if they wanted to even get close to the attendance that they had last year. This is the problem, Brian, of booking a show like this back-to-back years in the same venue. The newness is not there. They're doing everything they can to make this feel different than. But the fact of the matter is, and especially with the way Allegiant Stadium looks, like, you're going to have to do something pretty extraordinary for me to take the fact away that they are in that same building. It's a very unique view, very unique vibe to it. The way the roof looks, like, it's that stadium. And I feel like between that and what we're seeing as far as matches are concerned, like, this was something that we speculated they're going to have to do something if they want to get over 30,000 people in there, because that's where they're at right now.
That's what I thought. I heard like around 30, 35, and what was last year's number, 60,000
Yeah.
each night. Mm-hmm. I think we go back to COVID and we bring back the cutouts. We put the cutouts in those empty seats.
Man, something.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, people, if you want to go, it's going to be cheaper this year than next year.
For
Plane
Oh my
tickets
God.
alone, so might as well jump on it.
You know, I was talking to my girl about this because, like, I know what I spent to go just to one night last year. We went to the Sunday night portion of it. And we were sitting there talking about this, when they said they were going to go back to, or they were going to go to New Orleans, we were going to go, because it was a new venue, a new city, a new experience, right? But when they said, no, just kidding, we're going to keep it in Vegas, we're like,
Psych.
yeah, it would be cool to go back, but I'm not going to pay that amount of money to go into a city that I've already been to. Well, now they're making it to where we're sitting here thinking we could really do this, because in some areas of the stadium right now, combo tickets for Saturday and Sunday are cheaper than what I paid for Sunday last year. You feel me? And it's like, babe, do we really want to go do this? But I think the closer we get to April 18th, April 19th, and then I've been paying attention to the Game Time app, and like every other day,
Wow.
they're coming down. They're coming down. So,
Don't you forget we worked that Saturday, so you better not.
all right, took it off. Took that whole weekend off. That is my holiday. I will be you cannot get a hold of me that weekend. The phone gets turned off. If you're not where I'm at, I don't see you, but be that as it may. Real quick, let's go around the world of NXT. They had a big show the other night. Brian, do you want to bring us up to speed on all things NXT real quick?
Sure. Yeah, they had their Vengeance Day PLE. Started off with Blake Monroe defeating Jada Parker by pinfall. Then the new look Tony D'Angelo come out, which I really like. I honestly feel like I wouldn't pull him in the main roster. I feel like he's right. He could go at this point, but I feel like he's one of those guys that would be a good guy to keep. He can be face, he can be heel. He's kind of a universal Swiss Army knife for NXT. He ended up defeating Dion Lennox from Dark State. Thank you. You know how I hate that. Tatum Paxley defeated Izzy Dame, regained the North American Women's title. Which she's already been, I think, attacked by Izzy Dame, and she took the title back. So we're going to see the match again. Yeah. Lola Vice, one of Q's favorites, defeated Kiana Jordan, and what do they call those? Their dark. What do they call that? They have their MMA style matches.
Underground or something.
Underground, that's what it is. I actually really like when they set that up like that with the people around the ring and they lower the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and then your main event was Joe Hendry defeating Ricky Saints, which thank God, because there couldn't be a person that's higher up in the company other than Cody than Ricky Saints that I can't stand.
Really?
And it's funny because they're buddies.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. 2 peas in a pod.
Did you watch the show?
I did.
Anything stand out to you?
The Underground match was amazing.
I mean, especially
That
with
was
the
so
MMA
fun.
background, watching those are
Yeah.
so fun.
That was such a good match. And then Ethan Page he slid the belt accidentally to Joe Hendry. We got that. I guess he's going face, or he's
They said his name.
or he's double crossing.
I think we're going to see him and Ricky Saints.
Yeah, he's just kind of double crossing Ricky.
That's going to be a good feud too if they go that route.
Man, but yeah, the Underground match had me. That was fun. That was something different.
What about you, Q? Was that the match of the night for you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I definitely dig it. I enjoy Joe Hendry. I enjoy Joe Hendry. Shucky ducky quack quack. But Jada Parker, my homie.
Miss Parker.
Miss Parker.
That's so fun.
my homie, Miss Parker, and Blake Monroe. Touche. I dig it, man. I like both of them.
The
And
Diamonds.
Oh man, the diamond spot. I like stuff like that, man. You don't have to get all gory and bleed
Yeah, just
buckets.
give some plastic diamonds in the match instead
Get
of
some
tap.
plastic diamonds, and throw it at people. Slam people on the diamonds. I enjoyed it.
It's
Yeah.
glamorous.
It's definitely glamorous. Miss Parker.
All right, this weekend, AEW is having their next pay-per-view offering, Revolution. going down on Sunday night, March the 15th, from the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, formerly known as the Staples Center. That's kind of a big building to be booking like that, and that is traditionally a WWE building. So it's going to be interesting to see how AEW does in the Los Angeles market, especially in their premier venue. That's probably, if anything, on that side of the country. That is the Madison Square Garden of the West Coast, in my opinion. I guess the Cow Palace in San Francisco, just because it's an older building. But in terms of prestige, in terms of this is the venue you want to run to, the Staples Center or the Crypto.com Arena. Yeah. I hate this crap, all this corporate.
Wow, that was good.
Whoopsie! MJF, Hangman Adam Page will be headlining this event in a Texas death match for the AEW Championship. Now, for those who think I'm too critical of Tony Khan, let me just say this. Or ask this, I guess I should say. If you're running a show in Los Angeles, California, why are you having a Texas death match for your world title? Doesn't make sense to me, Q. They couldn't come up with a Hollywood...
LA gang match?
Something. LA street fight, something. Hollywood backlot brawl.
There we go.
Weirder things have happened.
Roddy Piper Goldust.
I guess why I said the other day, too. That's why it popped up. Came to mind.
Oh, man.
Any other matches? I know you kind of have been looking at what their card. It's a huge card for AEW Revolution on Sunday. Hopefully some of these matches that they're announcing are going to be taking part of their pre-show, because otherwise you're looking at a 5.5 hour pay-per-view easily.
Normal. That's normal.
Any other matches that stand out?
I'm not a big Young Bucks fan, but Young Bucks and FTR have great chemistry when they are in the ring. So I am looking forward to seeing that.
I think my love of FTR cancels out my hatred of Young
think
Bucks,
that's what
so
it
it makes it an interesting match.
I think that's what it is.
On paper, look, I cannot stand the Young Bucks. I think they are gross. They are just absolutely gross. But they have, when they get into the ring with when they get into the ring with a team like FTR, that FTR is the kind of team that makes teams like the Young Bucks rise up to their level, or they're going to get left in the dirt. And with that, when they're serious, the Young Bucks can be a great tag team. And when they're in the ring with FTR, that's going to bring the best out of them. And that's one thing that I will say about AEW. They do try to put some emphasis on their tag teams. Problem, in my view, is that they just focus on the wrong tag teams. But
Or the same tag.
Yeah, there's that too. Yep. So yeah, that will be a good match. That's not for the tag team championship, is it?
I think it is.
Is it? Okay.
Yep, it is.
Yes.
All right. All right, so AEW Revolution Sunday night from the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. And that's going to lead us to Klaus's closeout this week. And I've got three things that I want to make mention of. Two kind of coincide with one another. And once again, I find myself being in a situation where I have to address some of the monstrosities that I see that occupy the IWC, especially when it comes to very real things that happen in and around the world of professional wrestling, and how you need to be patient. You need to practice patience if you're going to be a pro wrestling fan. And I'll start there first. We all saw what was deemed to be the big question mark leading into the Elimination Chamber. What was in the crate? The crate was going to be moved from Raw to SmackDown, back to Raw, until it wound up being at the pay-per-view. I'll be honest with you, I kind of forgot about the crate thing until it was time for the segment. But as soon as they opened up the crate and you saw the coffin sitting in there, I knew immediately. I mean, we had speculated that it was going to be who it wound up being, that being Danhausen. It wasn't going to be Chris Jericho. It wasn't going to be anything on that level. And I think because the IWC worked them into such a shoot that nothing other than Jericho would be received favorably. I felt terrible for Danhausen watching that live, as the people were just completely poo-pooing all over him as he was making his first appearance on WWE television. This is something that this dude has been working towards for a long, long time, and to be received the way he was, I legitimately felt bad. And of course, me being me, I had to go over to X, which is the cesspool of the IWC. I don't care, I'll say it. And I read how people just ripped this whole thing apart, ripped Danhausen individually as well as the segment itself. But my God in heaven, what a turnaround 24 or 48 hours later during his first backstage vignette on Monday Night Raw. And the same people who condemned the fact that Danhausen was in WWE, all of a sudden were singing his praises. Which leads me to this. Calm down. Let it ride. Not everything is going to be a home run every single waking moment of every single show. You have got to practice patience if you're going to really grasp what makes professional wrestling as great as it is. Relax. Calm down. Okay, it wasn't Jericho that came out of the crate. So let me ask you this. You look at a guy like Jericho, the stature that he is. Did you honestly think for one single solitary second that Chris Jericho was going to be the one, ideally, that's going to be, sent from Monday Night Raw to SmackDown, back to Raw, before going to the pay-per-view? In a crate! Jericho! What are you doing? And I'm trying to keep this very PG, like it would be too easy. Because you guys give me too much ammunition. And this is what drives me nuts about the IWC. This is what drives me nuts about this crop of wrestling fandom. Your tribalism is gross. The way you just cut everything down without even giving it a chance is disgusting. And it tells me all I need to know about your mental state and capacity in any realm of life. Relax. It's not that deep. Give it time. Because since his arrival at the chamber, Danhausen's segments on both Raw and SmackDown have become among the most received, the best received of those entire broadcasts. That's what he's there for. He's not going to have your 5-star classics, 8 if they're held in the Tokyo Dome. That's not what he's here for. He's here to entertain, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now, when you talk about the realm of entertainment with professional wrestling, there is a fine line between reality and fantasy in the world of wrestling. Now, this leads me to a news article, a very disturbing one that came across my radar earlier this afternoon. And the first thing that I want to do is send my best wishes, prayers, juju, like all that stuff, to OVW referee Dallas Edwards, who came into the news the other day because, unfortunately, he suffered a seizure during the course of a TV taping for Ohio Valley Wrestling. It gets no more real than that. It was not an angle. It was not acting. The man had a medical emergency during the course of a match. The other jackasses involved in the match, not realizing what was happening, not taking a second to actually check on the guy, actually wound up moving him. And if anybody knows anything, It's so damn ironic, especially for all of us. Well, these two more specifically, because we had a situation like this at our shoot job just the other day. No kidding. So to read and to see that this man's health and well-being was compromised for the sake of getting your shit in is disgusting. And it makes OVW need to really reevaluate who they're putting in these spots in the ring. And the fact that there's members of the IWC that are going to sit there and make fun of this guy and make all kinds of these cruel jokes and comments about milkshakes and all this other crap. What the hell is wrong with you? This is a real life situation with a real human. You pieces of garbage. Like, what is it in your mind that makes you think that that's okay? What if that was a friend of yours? What if that was your dad? What if that was your uncle? What if that was your brother? What if that was somebody that meant something? Would you be okay with the fact that people were making all these asinine jokes and comments about this? It's gross. And the fact that OVW needs to reevaluate what they're doing in real life situations like this, because I'm here to tell you, if this happened elsewhere with a more reputable organization, with more professionals actually in these spots, we would not be having a conversation like this. We would be having a conversation, this happened and this is how it was responded to. But now we have to sit here and dissect and question what makes you people tick. Why is this okay? This is not a joking manner. And this is a prime example of why real sports fans look down on wrestling fans. It's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And OVW, hopefully they will learn something from this. Hopefully. Because my God, Q, this is something that like I had to read it twice. Because I'm like, is this a program? But once I realized this is what was actually happening, it was disgusting. Absolutely gross. All right. Now let's end it on a high note. I just wanted to be acknowledged that I practiced great restraint in those last 6 or 7 minutes. They could have been too easy for me to go a little off the rails. But
I get it.
Listen, all right. As professional wrestling fans, we have our days that we look forward to as annual holidays. This coming Monday is one of those. It is March the 16th, 316 day, as it were. And it is on this day that we acknowledge the greatness that is Stone Cold Steve Austin. What? And so we wanted to, this is the closest show to that date, so we wanted to take a moment, go around the horn maybe. When you think of Stone Cold and the impact that he made on the business, obviously changed things around for WWE. One of the most marketable, recognizable, successful professional wrestlers in the entire history of the business. Records that stand to this day in terms of box office and merchandising. When you think of Stone Cold, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Somebody that saved the business and put WCW out of business.
Yeah.
Man, and I want to say this about Stone Cold, or to Stone Cold, if he just so happened to be watching. I don't know if you're going to be on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if you're going to be on Monday Night Raw, but you know what? You are invited for a seat right here at the Fatal 4-Way in the next 2 weeks. If you want to come and sit with us,
we'll roll the red carpet out.
We'll roll the red carpet.
We'll have beer here.
Steve Weiser.
Steve Weiser.
What? We'll be whatting all night, man.
Your favorite Austin moment?
Oh, I want to go to the Kurt Angle moment with the milk truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that started with an Austin moment, right?
Yeah.
I just can't believe he made himself, right? He's a self-made.
Well, I mean,
The role they
fans-
put him in as the rich
being
boy,
master.
the
Ringmaster.
Ringmaster.
yeah,
Yeah.
the money guy, like,
Yeah.
and look what he made himself to.
It just goes to show, man, with the right opportunity and people behind you to help nurture that, Vince McMahon in this case. I don't know, man, if it wasn't Austin McMahon, the entire landscape of the business would look different. Would you agree, Brian?
Oh, for sure.
If I can, I'm sorry, if I can steal the loudest pop in history when he came out to help Mick Foley win the championship belt.
100%.
Gosh,
Huge.
I watch that clip often.
Oh yeah, it's
Just to feel that pop.
you know,
The King of the Ring, the creation of like the Austin 316, basically, I think was my standout memory for sure.
yeah.
The whole Jake the Snake thing.
That I
was
mean, that's
awesome.
where it started, right? Like he was gaining momentum, but if he had not cut that promo after winning King of the Ring, the entire business would look different. For me, just because I was in the building the night that it happened, and feeling the energy and feeling Joe Louis Arena literally shake the night he drove the Zamboni into the ring, like that. God, we walked out of that show and our ears were ringing for hours. It was so loud. And we talked to a guy that worked there, an usher, and he said that building had never been that loud. Not during the Red Wings winning the Stanley Cup and all this other stuff. That building has never been that loud. And as my fandom goes, man, that is right up there. That's like in my probably top 3 moments that I have seen live in person. So Stone Cold Steve Austin, I mean, obviously a huge influence on me, on my career. I named my son after him. So, I mean, it goes pretty deep, you know what I mean? So, but we certainly appreciate everybody who tuned in here and joined us live here on the Fatal 4-Way. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with all the latest news, information, news and rumor and innuendo. And if you haven't done so already, check out our online store, pfcstore.printify.me. Hollywood Q is sporting one of our new Fatal 4-Way shirts. We certainly appreciate the support. Go check out all of our new merchandise over there. With that, go out, be awesome to yourselves and to each other. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time right here on the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV as a part of the PFC Entertainment Network.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.